Hi everyone, Stephanie, aka French Nygma for Last One on Pro Wrestling, Free W Wrestling. Once again, come to you with an interview. And today it's not, I have to say, I saw his first matches. So I'm very proud to welcome Brian Myers. How are you,
Hello, what's
Brian?
going on? Thanks for having me.
It's cool, it's cool. It's an awful day in France. It's raining the cats and dogs, but everything is
Oh,
okay. Don't worry. So we are coming to the last play of the year, final resolution. For the moment, we don't know exactly the match you're going to have, but one thing we know is GTC is going to have a match, and it's a bit bittersweet. What are you expecting for this last play of the year?
well, one, the El Paso crowd was incredible last time we were there in 2025. So it's cool that we're back. It's a legendary wrestling building with a lot of ties into history. So it's gonna be sweet to be there for 3 days and wrap up our, TNA's live calendar year there. But I think you hit it on the head. It's all about JDC for me. I mean, unfortunately, he's announced that he is no longer going to be an in-ring competitor. And he's getting a title shot, which probably going to be his last title shot of his career. So obviously, myself and everybody in the system will have all eyes on that, and we'll be rooting for him, to pull it off. Because what an awesome way that would be to go out.
I have to say, it's pretty hard when I watched the show and to realize that he was retiring. It was such a shock, and for all the people like me who have been watching wrestling for such a long time, watching you debut, it's been nearly 20 years, or people like him, it's so difficult. And I imagine even more as a member of the system. Um, I don't know if he told you before or if you had the surprise to find out about his decision on Impact. How did you react when you?
So it's something that he's been discussing for quite a while now, and I think getting married and his wife, had a big part in the decision making, and we knew that it was weighing on him, but we didn't know exactly when or if he was really actually going to kind of, pull the trigger, if you will. So when he said it on TV, it's like we knew, but I guess the finality of it is like really did set in there live on TV because he can't take that back now. He said it, and he's given TNA his his dates truly, like Genesis in January truly is his last dates with the company. This is all real. So it's all sinking in because it's becoming real, and it's going to get really emotional the next 2 months that he's with us. But that said, I'm going to soak it all up, man, because he's one of my best friends, and he's one of the best ever to do this, and one of the best people I've ever met in the business. So I'm going to make sure it's a memorable run for sure.
And having this title chance, which is fantastic because it's like the cherry on the cake, and it's wonderful for him.
Yeah, it would be an
Uh,
incredible way to end his career, right? He's never been the TNA champ. He's never been the world champ, really, of any, major promotion. I think it would be a much deserved finish to a career for sure.
but I will advise people to watch uh, this moment on Impact because he, he was uh, he was announcing that it was hard for him, but your faces, you Moose, Eddie, Alicia, you were in the same kind of shock that he was, and people don't realize that. Eddie told me before, but the brotherhood that you are, and that it's more than a faction in wrestling. I'll let you describe to the people listening to us what the system is about.
Yeah, I mean the system has worked for the past 2 years because it's real. It's very, very real. We're all best friends. We're all attached to the hip, and it was going on behind the scenes far longer than you guys seen it on camera. That was just the decision that was made 2 years ago. But we all really care for each other. It really is like it's a family. We spend a lot of time together. That's where that brotherhood comes from. I've probably spent as much money, I mean, sorry, much time with Fandango, JDC, Johnny Curtis, as I have
Dirty
with my wife over the
Dango.
years. If you add it all up, the amount of time that I've been home and the amount of time that I've spent, with him over the years of my career, as long as I've known him and all the companies we've worked, it's probably about the same. So that all adds up, man. So you really, and that's how you really form bonds with people. Bonds that last forever. So
And
it's a special thing.
when he said, guys, you will have to find someone to replace me, because I know what he told me a year or two ago, yeah, how close you are, or finding a replacement is not something that is going to be easy. And also, if you want to find a replacement, because I'm not sure it will be that easy to replace someone like him.
Yeah, that's something
You
that
would
he's
you, and
mentioned.
who could it be? Who could it be?
That's something that he's mentioned. Like you said it, he's irreplaceable, especially the kind of person that he is and the presence that he brings. Definitely irreplaceable. That said, I mean, I'm not completely against it. There will be a void, and I'll try to keep an open mind and heart to see what, the replacement potential could be. I guess you just never know. But he's still in the system for the next 2 months, so I'm not concerned about that just yet.
I wrote it, so I will assume it. I will miss this nice little booty shaking. Oh
All right.
my God, I love that. I was gonna say, because it's an old friend for you. Could Matt Cardona be a member of the system?
The problem with that, and I love Matt, and we're business partners and tag team partners. He's not really a team player, so I don't think that would be the best fit. Yeah, Matt likes to be the one
We are
that
going.
showcased. It's hard for him to take a back seat and let someone else shine. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't push that upon uh the rest of the system. And for me personally, I get a lot of Matt Cardona in our other businesses and our podcast and our toy company. The system is my one escape from him, so I can't add that to the list.
I'm probably in the same state of mind that a lot of you. I'm like, no, GDC is irreplaceable. We'll think about that later because he is so cool. Excellent wrestler, excellent person. So mm, nice little house. But yeah, but this brotherhood, this faction, and we saw that. I think Hardcore War really epitomized the team, the brotherhood that you are all, because not any one of you was afraid to go in this hardcore war. What Alisha did, what you did, Moose, Eddie, GDC, it was stunning, stunning. This match was one of the one of my best of the night. And you sometimes you realize that there's the wrestling, that's fantastic, but there's this dedication. And where you come into the match with this state of mind, this idea, we are a band of brothers and we are not gonna let the other four uh, win.
Yeah, no, for sure. And for me personally, it was just a lot of like selflessness because I knew, this was where we were was Massachusetts, and that New England
Eddie
area means
birthplace and GDC
that's Eddie and
birthplace.
Lish. Yeah, that's their territory, and even JDC. So it was like, it's like if I got to take the back seat in this one and let you guys shine, then I'm all for it because this is your guys' night. And boy, did Alisha took that light and shined, and man, she had such a fearless performance and really stood out. I was so proud of her. I'm proud of everybody. It was just an epic night. One I'll never forget. Having our hands raised and that building, jam packed. It was a beautiful thing.
It was a beautiful match. True, a lesson of wrestling, what wrestling is about. That's what I said. Um, and I won't. When I write something, I never regret it. Believe me. Um, how would you describe this year, 2025? We are 36 years away from the end of the year. Um, being in a faction like you are, you're selfless, you're putting your goals in some ways to the back. I mean, it's a faction, it's the group. Are you happy of everything that you have accomplished so far in 2025?
Yeah, I think 2024 when the system started, it was more about accomplishments and titles and things like that for sure. But in 2025, I think those accolades have kind of switched to moments. Creating memorable, unforgettable moments in TNA history. Slammiversary, in a record breaking crowd. We kind of took down a then undefeated team from NXT and defended the company's honor in my hometown. I thought that was something, a point of pride and very memorable. And then obviously Bound for Glory, taking down Order 4 and Eddie and Lish's hometown, and just making incredible moments and memories. And that's what I'll take away from 2025 for the system. We had success, but we had success in our own way, and I'm still very proud of that. And obviously, I'm thrilled for what it lies ahead in 2026. Especially with this new television deal looming, and the rise of TNA. The sky's really the limit.
Uh, I've been writing on this company since 2017. Eddie was there, Moose was there, and Rosemary was there. So for me, Moose and Eddie, they really are near and dear to my heart. So is Lish. Uh, so is so obviously so is you, and so is JDC because this is a family thing. Um, uh, so it's very near and dear to my heart, these values. And what can we wish you and the system for 2026?
Great question. It's going to be interesting without JDC, but like I said, TNA is like there's a lot of momentum with this company right now, a lot of buzz, a lot of exciting things happening, and we're gonna have to figure it out pretty quick what the system is without JDC so early on in 2026. So it's gonna be something worth watching, that's for sure.
And some of you may not realize, but you've been in TNA for 5 years now. I remember it was the time of COVID. There was no one in the arena, and you were there. Uh, you are nearly a 20-year career. You've been in TNA for 5 years. Do you feel like it's the right place, the right time in your career? I mean, do you feel you're in the exact place you want to be at this time of your career?
I do, I truly do. I've been wrestling 21 years now for two different runs with WWE. I've wrestled all over the world, 49 states here in the US. And I think I am right where I'm supposed to be in TNA. I love it. I love watching it thrive. I love the people I work with. I love watching it grow, the satisfaction I get from that, that like things aren't handed to TNA wrestling, everything is fought for and the company strives for. And those successes really, are a point of pride, and I've been a part of that. I think now I'm like, besides those people you mentioned, Lish, Eddie, Moose, Rosemary, I think Tasha might be the only other one longer tenured than me, and I think that's by like one loop. So, been there a long time. I'm one of the most tenured people in the locker room, and I take a lot of pride in that too. I just I want to just keep seeing this place succeed and grow. That's all I care about.
And I just wish you the best and thank you for being, I call them pillars, but Thank you for also being a pillar for people like me who are following TNA and writing on TNA with all the heart, because I do it like that. But I have tons of other questions, but we have to stop there. Brian, I wish you the best for the rest of the year. I see you in 2026 with brand new things for the system. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your kindness. And the best.